Hi guys, my name is Liz. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here already. I have a special video for you today about me living as a minimalist in a clutter-free, organized environment with my 4 kids in this 1-bedroom apartment. I'm going to tell you how I got to this point. I'm going to tell you the benefits of living an organized, minimalistic life and how you can do it and how it can benefit you. So let's go, guys. All right, guys, here is my main room. Amora's room, Bubba's room, and the bathroom. I do use underneath the bed for storage also. So that is a big help that space is under there. So now that you've seen my space a little bit, I'm going to tell you how I got to this point. And I kind of in a nutshell, I've always had OCD all my life. I've always had it ever since I was a kid. So it's not really severe, but it can affect my day-to-day life. I do like stuff organized. I find it hard to focus if my area is not at least somewhat organized. I work better if I don't have any clutter and everything's clean. I'm not a perfectionist by any means, but I like some kind of order in my life. So I've always kind of been like this, and a couple months ago, me and my separated husband now, Jorge, took a trip to Florida, which I hadn't seen my dad in over 15 years. And so it was a really special trip to Florida. Somewhere along the way from Virginia and the drive back up to Pennsylvania, I had, all these I'm kind of a daydreamer, so I envision a lot of stuff in my head. And I just kept envisioning myself, being able to travel more. And then I got thinking, oh, I could get an RV and just travel light and just not have a lot of stuff. Because with kids, your house can get so cluttered with kid stuff. It can get really stressful, okay? So guys, I had this little revelation that I wanted to live lighter. Something in me was telling me I needed to just let go of some more stuff. Even though I already had a pretty organized life, God was telling me, no, you need to get rid of more stuff, Liz. So I started going through the process of purging some stuff, getting rid of some stuff, which I had 2 yard sales when I got back from vacation. I had 1 yard sale before vacation, and then I had 1 yard sale after vacation, I believe. Or no. I think it's something like that, guys. It doesn't really matter. I had 2 yard sales and I got rid of a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that I was not using. When I got back from vacation, I just started deep cleaning my house. I was kind of doing a spring cleaning even though it wasn't spring. And I just started realizing, like, why do I have all this stuff? And as I started letting go of stuff, I just was able to let go of more stuff. And I'm like, you know what? This feels good. I like this. And so my separated husband, we had some disagreements. We had some things that we didn't really see eye to eye on. He kind of had a spending habit, and I'm more about saving money. So, we had some disagreements and stuff like that, but I'm not going to get into the reason why we split up. But when my husband left, I was then put in a place where, wow, now my life is really changing. I just got rid of all this stuff, and now my husband just left, and now my life is really changing. So I was kind of going through a really emotional time in my life. And after that, I'm like, you know what? I need to get rid of anything. Anything that reminded me of him, I needed to get rid of it. Everybody's different, but for me, it's not good for me to hang on to stuff of my exes. So it was a process. It took some time, but I got rid of everything that was his. And once you start doing this, you kind of start realizing that a lot of the times we buy stuff at the store that we don't even need. And then we just bring it back into our homes. And then the next thing we know, our homes are messy and we're like, oh, it's all cluttered. But it's like we just brought more stuff into our homes. We're bringing stuff into our homes all the time. I think it's good for us to become more mindful of the things that we're buying and bringing into our home. It makes it a lot easier to stay up to date and stay organized and up to date on everything and cleaning and everything. Same thing with kids' clothes. There's really no reason for kids to have that many clothes. They don't need a new outfit every time you go to the store. Kids get clothes dirty anyways, and, they grow out of them. So I used to buy my kids a lot of clothes. I don't anymore. I buy them way less clothes, way less toys also. I also don't buy really any home decor. I've really been trying to stick to not buying anything unless I need it or unless it's going to be useful. like really useful, like useful for like me recording videos for, you know, something that is going to make life easier for me. And another thing is too, once you stop buying these extra items and start telling your kids no, you know what I mean? Like, even though, you know, a lot of us want to spoil our kids, but you know, when we start telling them no and stop buying these things that we don't need all the time, we start to save money. And it's like, wow, like I was spending money on that like this whole time, and like I could have been saving money. So it's really good to be mindful. I kind of want to share a little story time with you about something that happened to me that really changed me as a person and taught me a really valuable lesson, I believe. It taught me the lesson that like material things, they don't mean anything. What really matters is our loved ones. What really matters is our health, if we're alive, if we're warm, and if we're happy and our family is healthy. That's what matters the most, not material things. So the story I wanted to tell you guys that really taught me a valuable lesson would be back when I was with an ex and me and him were living together for quite a while. And so obviously we were living together for quite a while. All of my belongings were there. Well, this was not a good relationship to begin with, and I didn't really want to be in there to begin with. So this was like a blessing in disguise. He got mad at me one day and kicked me out. So I left with the kids and I spent the night at my mom's. Well, I never went back to the house. I never spent the night at that house again. I went to my mom's, and then I got my own apartment like about a week later. And a couple days after he had kicked me out, I was trying to get a hold of him so that I could come get my belongings and the kids' belongings. And like I said before, this was a very toxic relationship. So he was refusing to give me any of my stuff. He gave me a couple little items, but not much. Like I said, I had all of my stuff there. I had like a jewelry box and all my stuff. I had a crystal collection and tattoo supplies and my art supplies and all my clothes and everything you own. So he never gave me my stuff back, and that really bothered me at first. I tried to get a constable to go and get the stuff with me, and by the time I actually got the constable to go, when we went into the house, my ex said that he had already given me all the stuff, which he clearly didn't. But none of my stuff was in there. So I don't know whatever happened to my stuff. I was upset about that for a while. For a couple months, I wanted it back. I would like try to ask him for it back, and he would like play games and blah blah blah. Bottom line, in a nutshell, that whole situation, you know, it took me crying and being so frustrated over wanting my stuff back, and then coming to the realization that I'm not gonna, like, no matter what I do, I can't control that situation. If he's not gonna give me my stuff back, he's not gonna give me my stuff. And I've been through so many traumatic situations that I just, I realized, like, these things don't even matter anyways. All that matters is that I'm healthy, that I'm not being abused anymore, that I'm happy, that I'm warm, that I'm fed. Material stuff doesn't matter. And so ever since then, I have been so much more different regarding material things. I don't hold on to stuff as much. Now, after the separation with Jorge, now I'm really don't hang on to as much. And moving into this small 1-bedroom apartment, now I really, really watch what I bring in here. That is how I got to that point. So guys, if you're sick of your house being cluttered and messy and everything like that, I'm going to give you a couple rules. If you're interested in becoming more organized or more minimalistic, I'm going to give you the best rules that I know that will help you become more like that. So the first thing that I want to touch on is you're going to have to get used to it getting worse before it gets better, because when you go into, like, let's say you have like a drawer or a specific cabinet that you know you need to declutter or something like that, it's going to get messy. It's going to get chaotic while you're in the process of organizing. So don't be afraid of that. Next rule I want to say is, this is a big rule, is you have to believe in yourself. Okay? You have to believe it to achieve it. All right? So have a vision in your head of how you want your home to look, and basically, period, point blank, believe in yourself. There's no other like ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just believe that you can do it and just act on it. Another thing that you should work on is when you're going out to the store, let's say you're going to Walmart, think about the stuff you're putting in your cart. Do you really need it? Things like that. And if you can put a couple things back in your cart, that's a plus. That's more money in your wallet and less things coming into your house, and an easier time that you're gonna have cleaning. And believe me guys, if you start practicing these things, and you know, if this is something that you really want, and you start practicing these things, and you're gonna end up seeing results, and you're gonna start feeling more inner peace, and you're gonna be able to focus more. All right, it's gonna help you a lot, and it's good for everybody in the family. It's good for the kids, it's good for the adults. Yeah, and me and the kids clean together. I teach the kids how to clean. We do not have a TV. That's a whole nother video. But I let my kids use their imaginations with their toys, and I don't want them watching TV at this point right now. So sometimes I let them watch tablets, rarely, but we don't have a TV that we like sit down and watch regularly. That's a whole nother video. Let me know if you're interested in hearing about that in the comments. So yeah, guys, that's how I kind of ended up right here in this apartment, this 1-bedroom apartment that used to be a thrift store, used to be an old thrift store, but it is now my beautiful minimalistic underwater apartment. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Mwah.